The stage lights dimmed, the auditorium fell into an expectant silence. Caitriona Balfe appeared, graceful in a simple but elegant black dress. The Outlander actress always maintained a confident and proud appearance on the red carpet, but tonight, her eyes shone with sadness that was difficult to hide. The seemingly normal interview, revolving around career, family and new projects, suddenly took a different turn when the host asked, "Caitriona, over the years, the audience has always seen that you and Sam Heughan have a special bond. Can you share anything about that friendship?" Just one question, the whole space seemed to stop. Caitriona bowed her head slightly, her hands clasped tightly together. She hesitated for a few seconds, then her voice trembled as she said, "Sam has always been an important part of my life. But sometimes, not all feelings can be named." A long silence fell. The audience watched intently, while the Irish actress blinked repeatedly, as if trying to hold back the tears that were threatening to fall. But then, she couldn't hold back any longer. Caitriona burst into tears. Unforgettable years. Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe first met at the Outlander audition. The two immediately found a strange connection, as if they had known each other for a lifetime. On screen, they were Jamie and Claire, lovers who had transcended time. In real life, they were colleagues, soulmates, and perhaps, more. The passionate scenes, the hugs so real that fans wondered, was that feeling just acting? Sam had repeatedly affirmed that they were just good friends, while Caitriona chose to remain silent. But the looks they gave each other, the attention they paid to every little detail, everything was too real to be just a friendship. Caitriona once recalled, "There were cold days in Scotland when I was almost exhausted. Sam would silently hand me a cup of hot tea, without saying anything. He was always there, like a support that I could rely on." Tearful confession. Returning to the interview, when the audience was holding their breath waiting, Caitriona continued to speak, this time with years of pent-up emotion. "We have been through more together than anyone could imagine. Sam witnessed me at my weakest moments, and so did I. But perhaps, fate did not let us go further than friendship." The sentence was like a knife that touched the hearts of those who were watching. Clearly, there was something between them that went beyond friendship, but it was buried by circumstances, time, or even personal choices. A tear rolled down her face. Caitriona chuckled, her smile mixed with pain. "I know the fans always hope we will be together. But sometimes, love can't always come true. And the most precious thing is, I still have a friend named Sam Heughan." What did Sam say? What made the audience even more heartbroken was Sam's reaction. At a previous event, when asked about Caitriona, he simply replied, "She is the best friend I have ever had. I can't imagine life without Kate." Those words sounded gentle, but contained a regret. Perhaps, Sam himself once wanted more than just a friendship. But when Caitriona got married, he chose to stand behind to bless, remaining silent like a noble man. Friendship or buried love? When the interview ended, the whole audience was still immersed in emotion. Caitriona left the stage, her eyes red, but with a calm smile on her lips. People clearly saw in her eyes a deep affection for Sam, an affection that did not need to be labeled, but would always exist. Perhaps it was a love that had existed, but was buried because of life choices. Or maybe it was just a friendship that was too great, beyond the usual definition. Whatever it was, Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe wrote a story that made millions of people wonder, is there any friendship in the world that is so beautiful that it resembles love, but never becomes love? Their story will probably forever remain an unsolved mystery. But the image of Caitriona bursting into tears when mentioning Sam is a powerful proof that those feelings are real, forever imprinted in both of their hearts, even though no one calls it love. As Caitriona's interview spread across social media, Sam Heughan was in Scotland, attending a whiskey launch. He knew that in a few hours, all eyes would be on him, not for the product, but for the name Caitriona Balfe. That night, Sam returned to his hotel late. He opened his phone, reading the newsfeed, and paused at the video of Caitriona crying. In the dim light, his blue eyes suddenly filled with tears. Sam didn't usually let his emotions get the best of him, but this time, his heart ached. "Kate," he whispered. Memories flooded back. Sam remembered the day they first met in the casting room. Caitriona walked in with a proud demeanor, her eyes shining and her smile lighting up the room. "This is Claire Fraser," he thought. And from that moment, their fates were intertwined. The first scenes were difficult, but Caitriona was always there to encourage him. She patiently listened to Sam practice his lines, correcting every little gesture, even shielding him from the pressure from the crew. "No one but Kate could make me feel like I was good enough to be Jamie," Sam once admitted. As their careers took off, they became close friends. But sometimes, that friendship was strained by moments that were too close. A handshake on set, a look that lasted too long after a line, or long nights of confiding in each other over a glass of wine. There were times when Sam wanted to say, "I love you." But he swallowed it back, afraid that just one word would shatter everything. Choices and regrets. The day Caitriona announced her marriage to Tony McGill, Sam smiled and congratulated her. He held her tight, whispering, "I just want you to be happy." But deep down, a part of his heart had quietly fallen into the abyss. He knew that from that moment on, he had no choice. The so-called buried love was officially locked away, hidden behind the professional smile and nobility that the public still admired. However, that feeling never disappeared. It just smoldered, waiting for a moment to erupt. And that moment was when Sam saw Caitriona burst into tears on stage, words for her. A week later, Sam appeared in a live interview. The host, of course, could not ignore the hot topic. "Sam, have you seen the video of Caitriona crying when mentioning you? Do you have anything to say?" Sam bowed his head slightly, his lips pursed. He hesitated for a few seconds, as if he was fighting with himself. Then he looked up, his deep voice echoing softly, "Caitriona is one of the most special people I've ever met. She's not just a co-star, not just a best friend. I don't know what to call this relationship, but it's always been there in my heart." Hearing her cry made me realize that there are things we've chosen to hide, and perhaps will forever hide. But I want to say one thing. I'm always here, for Kate, whether as a friend, as a colleague, or anything else. The audience erupted in applause, but behind that answer was a belated confession. People saw Sam's eyes sparkle, as if he had just said something he'd kept secret for years. When love can't be named, after the interview, Sam sat alone in the room. He wrote a message to Caitriona. "I saw you that day. I wish I could hug you and say, no need to hold back anymore. But we have chosen this path, and I will always respect it. No matter what, you will always be the most important person in my life." He did not press send. The message remained in his phone, like a secret that had never been revealed. Sam understood that sometimes love does not need to be a couple, does not need vows. It just needs to exist in the heart, quietly but forever. The story has not ended. Fans continue to debate. Are they just friends or have they been in love? Sam and Caitriona have never confirmed it, but the tears, the looks, the hidden words are the answer. Maybe that feeling will forever be buried, never complete. But that's why it became a legend, a love that doesn't need to be realized, just exists to make the world believe that sometimes having a friend is more important than love. Sam knows he will continue to be by Caitriona's side, whether in work or in life. And deep down, he still holds a small hope that one day, when all barriers disappear, they can say to each other things they never dared to say. Until then, friendship, or buried love, continues to live in both their eyes, smiles and hearts.